Do we really need another person to explain what MVP means? Probably not, but here we are with the aim of not confusing things even further. So, to the age-old question that everyone is bored of talking about, what is an MVP or minimum viable product? An MVP is a version of an idea with just enough cobbled together to generate feedback from potential users to inform a pivot or persevere decision. It's asking yourself, what is the minimum we can do to test our assumptions about our idea and the market in order to get feedback from real users? One of the books that brought this concept to the mainstream was The Lean Startup by Eric Ries. If you are using the term MVP and haven't read this book, it's probably worth doing so. So how could an MVP actually help? There are a few reasons why MVPs could help, but here are the top two. Number one, they can help you validate your product idea before you invest loads of time and money into developing a fully fledged product. It's important to make sure that there is actually a market for it. An MVP can help you do that by giving you feedback from real users. And secondly, they help you learn about what your customers want. Even if you have a great product idea, there's no guarantee that customers will actually want it and pay for it. An MVP can help you learn what your customers want and need so that you can focus on developing things they actually want to use. So how do you create an MVP? To create an MVP, you need to identify the core problem your product is trying to solve. Once you have identified that, you can start developing your MVP. There are many types of MVP, so instead of talking at you and listing them one by one, there is a link in the description to a great article that goes through them all. It's important to note that an MVP doesn't have to be perfect. In fact, it's better if it's not perfect. This is because the aim is to generate feedback from users as soon as possible so you can incrementally build your product. Another way to think about it is like this. Most sitcoms have a pilot, a rough, lower quality version of what's to come before signing off on a series. It's shown to a small audience to gather feedback before deciding what to do next. There is a whole pilot season dedicated to this. It's a period of time between January and April in which up to 100 MVPs can be thrown away without too much damage. From a product point of view, the important part is that it can be thrown away without too much damage. It's not working on something with a fixed date for 18 months, realizing you won't deliver the original scope, and deciding to call it MVP. That's just changing the scope and calling it something else to make yourself feel better. So when you're thinking about MVPs, think about the very first episode of your favorite show. Overall, an MVP can be a powerful tool for validating your assumptions about your product ideas. By learning from real customers, you could save time, money, and effort before developing a fully fledged product. But remember, the point of an MVP isn't for it to be version 1 of a finished product. What are your thoughts on MVPs? Have you ever created one? Share your experience in the comments below.